students, good morning to all. Today we are discussing about the very important and the essential properties of the material. Now, before we have discussed about what is the elastic property. Elastic property of a material is if the force is applied on a material that changes its shape and size temporarily. That means when you remove the force, that regains its original shape and size. Once it regains its original shape and size, this is known as elastic property, material elastic one now. Then when you remove the force and it could not comes back to your now, such materials are called as plastic materials. Now these plastic materials we have studied in a previous lesson that the material has got some elastic limit now. Below the elastic limit, material behaves like an elastic. That means when you remove the load, it regains its original shape and size, comes back to the original shape and size. But when the stress is applied or the deforming force is applied beyond the elastic limit, the material gets permanent deformation. Its shape and size changes permanently, and this behavior of the material is known as the plastic behavior, and material is called the plastic material. Now this plastic material has got one specific yield point is there. That means from that yield point it will start behaving the plastic now. But we find the elastic materials are more applicable in engineering now. That means we want the large range or longer range of elastic material, elastic property now. That means we are going to modify the elastic limit of a material, and this modification can be achieved. It is called as a strain hardening, and strain hardening helps us to modify the elastic limit of a material. Now another part is called a strain softening now. Strain hardening we are discussing here, and we are discussing about what are the causes for the strain hardening now. And also we are discussing about strain softening and the failures in mechanical or mechanical failures we are discussing now. The failure may be the fracture or fatigue now, and we are studying three elastic moduli. They are Young's modulus, bulk modulus and rigidity modulus. Now we can go one by one. Now first is, what is strain hardening here? Now you take an example of a material. Now this material is having such a property, that means it has got certain elastic limit. Within the elastic limit it regains its original shape and size, but beyond the elastic limit the material becomes plastic, and you can say that the material becomes, or material has got very less applications. Now we wanted to increase the elastic limit of that one now. That means that once the material is plastically deformed and earlier stress was applied now, what we are going now, we can apply the stress once again. By applying the stress, what we are doing now, that material has got increased yield point now. Now this effect of increased yield point is there. It is known as a strain hardening. The process of making a metal harder by plastic deformation is known as strain hardening now. But it is also known as work hardening now. It is also called as a cold working now. Now this is very important industrial process of making a metal harder by plastic deformation now. That means the plastic deformation is there. What has taken place now? There the further stress we are applying such that the elastic limit is increased now, yield point gets. Now you see this figure now. In this figure I have shown a graph here. Now already I have seen the Hooke's law and Hooke's graph also you have seen now. Then here point A and point B are there. The point A is the yield point before yielding or before hardening of that one, or you can call before strain hardening the yield point was A, and after strain hardening what time the yield point has become B now. Now you can say 1, 2 elastic limit now, that has increased for 4, 5 now, and this results in what happens, the elastic limit of that metal has increased now. But what are the causes for this one now? Let us see the figure. Dislocation is there, and here STZ I have shown here. Dislocation means In the previous one, there are 7 columns are there. Now there is one column is vanishing below the dislocation here. That means what happens? Dislocated now. They can crowd now, they can overlap now, and this overlap of the atoms causes that part of the material is harder now. That means this is the atoms gets crowded as I shown in the second figure here, and their hardness is the strain hardening now. Now coming to this figure now you can see that a shear transfer zone STZ is there. I have shown grain A and grain B now. The slip plane also is there now. The red color you can see, in between red color and green color, the grain boundary is there now. Just you observe there, in these two figures, in grain A, one of the column is missing there, and the slip point is there now. The result of this, what happens? The metal exhibits the hard property, and this is a cause for that is strain. Now this is a figure which gives a very clear picture of 3 figures I have shown now. You see the first figure and second figure and third figure. Compare this now. Let us compare these 3 now. First is the pure metal, a single crystal lattice now. You can see all the lattices are there, they are arranged in a perfect order. The distance between them is a constant. Now shift to the second figure here, and you see in the second figure dislocation formation has taken place now. That one of the dislocated now. Below that it has become narrow. Atomic dislocation, lattice deformation has taken place. Then moment of dislocation, the dislocation moment takes place now. Just observe the third figure now. The red color circles show that there is a dislocation taken place and the dislocation moved now. This figure tells us the pure metal has got this condition. Dislocation formation is shown now, and the moment also is there now. That means it makes it very clear that stress hardening makes the dislocation. There is a formation takes place, and there what happens? The atoms are coming in disturbed position as compared to the first one now, and shear hardening makes this is a cause that it becomes. Now the shear transfer zone is there. See all the 3 figures now. The shear stress I written above there. Below in the first figure the slip plane is shown. Horizontal slip plane is there now. Below that edge dislocations are there. This is most associated figure is there. Crystal lattice figure ABC is there. Now this makes still clear that unit step of slip is there. Now you can observe there how they have been slipped now, and the structure how the changes now. That means the lattice are rearranged, they are disturbed now. Because of this one, the strain hardening takes place. This is called transfer zone. Another way, the strain softening is also there now. That means what happens? The metal there becomes very hard now, but you can soften also. Now this can be better understood by the graph here. Stress strain graph is there now. At certain level, you can see the peak point of this one. You can observe the peak point is here. That means you coming to this here. What you can observe now? It suddenly drops here. Now this drop is nothing but you can see that this is because of strain softening now. The metal becomes softened, and this drops now, and this curve is there. That negative slope is there. The negative slope indicates that there is softening effect of the material over this range now. The effect is called strain softening now. You can observe the strain softening into this metal. Now this is basically they are doing with the concrete blocks are the softened, and what happens? Whatever the strain present in that metal can be removed now, and they get soft now, and this is called the strain softening. Now what are the failures are there now? See, material fails. We generally know the material which has been designed, or the part of the machine which has been designed, it has a rigid shape. But in that what happens now? Some cracks will come now, fractures will come now, fatigue will come now. Now what is the fracture is there? What is the fatigue is there now? The fracture is, you can apply the heavy force on that one, abruptly it cuts up now. At one side it will be broken into the pieces. That is called a fracture now. Now fatigue, what happens now? In the material, the stress is accumulated, and this accumulated stress makes the material to change its shape and size now. Now this is what we are calling it's a mechanical failure. The mechanical failure is defined as any change in size. Now that is, you can mention here any change in size is there, or you can say any size in, this is size, or you can say the shape, or material properties also changes here. Only size and shape are not that. The material properties also changes now. Their structure also changes. You can say structure also. Now machine or machine parts are there. Where this happens, then they are becomes incapable of satisfactorily performing into that particular machine now. Now this dissatisfaction is there. They cannot perform properly into the machine, and that machine fails now. The machine does not continues now. It is not capable of further performing now. That is, a failure is there, mechanical failure is there. Mechanical failure also of the two types now. One is the brittle, another is called the ductile now. Now we are talking about the brittle now. Once per sudden, abruptly, if you apply the force, they are broken into small pieces now. That is called a brittle failure now. But ductile, what happens now? Elongation takes place, slightly shape and size changes now. This is because of ductile failure now. So these failures are there. When you go into the material now, we observe that these failures are taking place, and further to avoid this failure, the material itself is designed that the elastic limit must be such that they should perform very well into the required applications. And this is linear strain now. When apply the force along the axis, it becomes linear strain. Denominator, what happens? Volume strain now, because volume compression takes, and here in the shearing stress is that cutting takes place now. These three are there. They are very important parameters are there. From this we can decide about what exactly the material properties are there that are required for engineering purposes now. In the engineering, we have seen that they are used for making the machine parts. The failure also we have studied now. How the cracks takes place and how they cut off into the small pieces now. How the fatigue is present into the material. That means to overcome this one, the fatigue cracks are the stress concentrations are there. They are inside the materials now. Where actually the stress gets concentrated depends upon not only the applied stress but also that depends upon the geometry of the components now. Now here there are host of the variables such as corrosion also, the plays the part for that one. The temperature also one part of that one. Overreading also the part of that one. Then metallurgical structure, etc. they affect the material part now. And also you can see that the condition for fatigue, the effect of condition fatigue is there, that also observed now. In this is the three elastic modulas are there now, defined above, divide the deformation now. Now this shows that how the one Young's modulus tells about how much you can elongate, bulk modulus tells how much you can compress, and the shear modulus tells about at what level it cuts off now. Now this becomes the today discussion, and I stop the today discussion here only. We'll continue in the next class now. Thank you one and all.